court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Oh, three? Where's the third one?
Actually, no, we have 4.
I don't see him.
Another one?
That's one? I'm sorry. All right, 4. Never mind.
Oh, we have 4?
All right, are you Jose Cordovo Ocerio?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, my name's Judge John Jordan, and we're here to do an initial appearance on the charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant person.
Okay.
I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause for the charge. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. PTR?
He does qualify for PTR. He only has one prior on that. It's FBI for an alien present without admission.
All right, so I'm going to set the bond as pretrial release plus $250. Now, in addition, sir, you're not to have any contact, direct or indirect, with the victim, your girlfriend. You are to maintain separate residence. You can return one time with law enforcement officer to get your belongings.
Honor, if we could take advantage of the interpreter and inquire if he could afford the $250 bond.
All right, let me finish here. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs during the case. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And surrender any such items to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 24 hours of your release. Mr. Ocerio, can you afford the $250 bond?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. All right, anything else?
Eh,
No?
¿Puedo
Bonds
decir
on the
algo?
defense, Your Honor.
All right, so you've got your bond.
May I say something?
Yes, sir. Don't talk about the case, though.
No,
Don't talk about the case because they're taking notes.
no, no, no voy a ir a esa casa. Yo ahí no tengo nada de mis pertenencias. So, yo vivo en otra casa.
Yeah.
I won't be going back to that home. None of my belongings are there. I'm living somewhere else.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure if you had stuff there. But I appreciate you saying that.
No, no, no tengo nada. So, yo vivo en different house.
Yeah,
I don't have anything. I live in a different house.
I understand. So you can get out with the bond conditions. All right, next we have Gabrielle Mayor Quinn. Are you Gabrielle Mayor Quinn?
See, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Does your family know you're down here?
Sí, sí, señoría.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you've been charged with aggravated assault with a firearm, reckless display of a firearm, and destruction of evidence. I found probable cause for all the charges. I'm appointing the public defender. And just as a side note, since I'm not in criminal anymore, this is one of the better investigations I've seen state by law enforcement this early in a case. So it was impressive. All right, so PTR, anything about young Mr. Mayor Quinn?
But he does have a juvenile conviction, one for possession of firearm, and he does appear to be on juvenile probation.
Okay. So whatever I do here, because I'm going to give you a bond, they'll probably enter a custody order in juvenile or a violation of probation for that. So I'm just telling you, it's coming down the road. All right, so I'm going to set bond as follows. Count one, $1,000. Count two, $100. Count three, $150. You are to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. I don't want you to have any contact with the driver of the vehicle you were allegedly in during the pendency of the case. I don't know, has the driver been charged?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
I think he
believe
was.
I thought that he was let go at
Yeah,
the scene, so.
so no contact with him during the pendency of this case. I'm not saying he's a bad influence, but don't let him. So that's Joel Ayala. Stay away from him. Don't let him contact you. Okay, so I gave you the no contact with the victim. I told you not to have contact with the driver, Joe Ayala. I want you to avoid consuming or possessing any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And surrender any such items in your possession to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 24 hours of your release. So I'm staying the bonds on count 2 and 3 with the same conditions. So it'll be $1,100 and $150 plus all those conditions. Do you understand, sir?
Sí, su señoría.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Gilberto Perez Gomez. Good morning. Are you Gilberto Perez Gomez?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, so I've got a couple matters to go over with you, sir. First, there was a warrant issued on a failure to appear for pretrial on a operating motor vehicle without a driver's license. The bond on that's $2,000, and I'll appoint the PD to represent you. Then you picked up a new charge, a no valid driver's license, which I have reviewed, and I find probable cause, and I'll set the bond at $500 on that. Plus, listen to me carefully, do not drive without a valid driver's license. We appointed the PD on that as well. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck, sir. Mr. Bautista? I'm gonna need y'all's help on this one. Are you a Domenico Bautista?
Demencio.
Demencio.
Demencio. All right, sir. So you were supposed to be here yesterday on a new charge of trespass on property other than the structure or conveyance. And you're here today. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause for the charges. And I'm going to keep the bond at $500 and no return to the scene. Now, State, was he out on bond or jail? Do y'all know? Because it looks like,
He's out on 2021
Lo sabe, tiene
CF01
conocimiento.
or 12120 AO. The other first appearance detainer he had was closed out because there was actually an active warrant for that case.
okay,
So they have a hold for the warrant, but he is out on bond on the,
2021 CF 1212.
that's correct. And what's the one?
Is it 12120?
Let me see which one it should have been.
It's the grand theft third degree?
Yes, the grand theft he's out on R1.
Yeah, but is it 12120 AO?
That's what I see, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Bautista, I'm revoking your bond on that case in light of these new charges. Point to PD, and you can talk to the judge in that division about getting a bond. I won't touch that other one that apparently is closed. All right, are there any other Spanish interpreters? Laura, have a great weekend.
Likewise, it was nice seeing you again.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we have a lawyer case, and we need Matthew Rodriguez, correct?
And Mr. Rodriguez does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead and announce your presence, counsel.
Okay, Lisa Figueroa for the record on behalf of Matthew Rodriguez.
Are you Matthew Rodriguez?
Sir.
All right. Good morning. So you got charged with fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer with this lights and sirens engaged, which is it's a no bond till you see the judge offense, okay? Your counsel is here. I reviewed the paperwork. Did you have any probable cause issues?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I found probable cause as well. So go ahead.
Your Honor, the only thing, I would ask that if he could just have a straight bond. He is employed and in school, no prior history, and a lifetime resident of Central Florida of Orlando.
Anybody disagree, state or jail?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have no objection.
Okay. And state, what kind of bond would you be seeking?
Your Honor, the state would be comfortable with a $250 bond.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, $250, and when the lights go on, you stop. I don't know what to tell you. All right,
All right, thank you, Judge. That's all we have.
do we have any lawyers, or we have to call them later, right?
We do. I'm gonna call him as soon as we're done with them.
Okay. Well, I guess we're back to Deandre Ross. Is that who you have next? Are you Deandre Ross?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Ross. You're here because a capias was issued because you allegedly failed to appear at your status hearing. And the judge revoked your bond and issued new bonds of $10,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. So we'll point the PD to represent you, and they can schedule a bond hearing with the judge. Do you understand, Mr. Ross? Okay. Huh?
10,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2.
I think we have Ms. Sharber next.
I was on pre-trial release.
You were, not anymore.
For court, and remember what I told you back there, when you missed court and they set a new warrant out? That this judge is bound by that warrant?
All right, so I just want to note for the record that 15 years ago, when I was one of the IA judges with Judge Murphy, I openly stated that someone needs to come up with an app called courtdate.com that would send them a text, call them, email them several days before, the day before, so that they would make all their court dates.
They haven't.
They have courtdate.com?
No, they send out text.
No. I want one that's independent, you know, get the bondsman to fund it, they could throw some ads on there.
The court sends a text.
The app, through the app, not the court.
Oh.
And it'd be a private party that would make sure everybody shows up. Because, you know, everybody's got an email address, everybody's got a cell phone. You know, the mail's the mail, but I would think if someone came up with that, they would do very well. So again, 15 years
How would they
later.
make them come though?
Huh?
How would they make them show up?
Because it's gonna remind them to be there. And it's gonna keep reminding by texts and emails.
It does that. They do that now. They currently send out texts. The problem is the scheduling downtown. They have like fake court dates, right? So we go from pretrial to trial case management. So they get 3 texts saying you have court 3 days in a row, and then they show up. And it's
I hear you. And I'm glad that they're doing that now, because they weren't doing that 15 years ago. But I'm sure there's a better way to do it privately. I just throw that out there. Because I always felt a lot of people didn't show up because they weren't being constantly reminded. So, but I'll get back to what we're doing here. What happened to Miss Sharber? Okay, we'll reset for tomorrow. How about Lori Harris? Is she back there? Wow, okay, we'll reset her. How about Jamal Thompson? Okay, we'll reset him. All right, who's the judge tomorrow? Which county judge is doing IAs? I know, the new system. Find out, because I'm going to send an email.
Okay, I'll let
I'm going to tell him I didn't dump on him. All right, how about Henry Clay Davis? All right. Mental health, man. All right, reset. Now, we used to reset when released from mental health. What do y'all do here? Just reset the next day?
We reset the next day, but the hospital ones, we reset within 24 hours.
Okay, so reset tomorrow.
Your Honor, the judge tomorrow this week, it's Judge Johnson.
All right, well, Dave was a brand-new state attorney in my division 16 years ago, so he won't get mad at me. You would be surprised how many of my former state and PDs are judges or attorneys, and I'm in business court, appear in front of business. I had 3 of them last week, former state attorneys I dealt with. They're doing business court work, so what you're doing now may not be what you're doing later. I'm just throwing this one out.
Don't know if I'll go there.
Delmonte Lavars,
Sir,
how are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, man. A little
Great.
cold, but otherwise, man, I'm all right.
Yeah, that's true. Well, listen, sir, you've been charged with possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. PTR?
He has 4 felony convictions, 23 misdemeanors, 1 FTA. I do see multiple drug convictions in his past.
Okay, I'm going to leave the bond at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and please do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Your Honor, he
During the
indicated
pendency of the
he'd be able
case.
to afford $1,000 or $100 rather for a total bond. With the 2 that it's set now, a bondman's going to charge him $200.
Yep.
The court consider reducing.
No. No, but you can take it up with the judge.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
Okay.
Is Vincent White there?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, we'll reset for tomorrow. So we on traffic? Dennis Schaff? Hold on a second.
I mean, I had one more. I think that's we're supposed to call. I don't know if we're supposed to call a private attorney, but I had one more on the move up list, Christian Barboza.
I do what the clerk and the deputies say. Deputies have a gun and they have all the paperwork, so.
No, we're going to call you, please. I'm going to transfer you. Okay, thank you.
Oh, it does it automatic? Oh. Which case is it? Hey, this is Judge Jordan. Who's this?
Good morning, Judge. This is Attorney Chris Akachunas. How are you?
I'm doing well. I haven't seen you in a while.
I wish I could have came down, Judge, but unfortunately I had a positive COVID test last week, so tomorrow's my last day of quarantine.
Well, I hope your symptoms are minor and you make a quick recovery.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. I think I'm ready to go now, to be honest with you.
Okay. So I think we have one of your clients. Is this Christian Barboza?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
He's in front of me. He's here on a disorderly conduct, which I assume you're not contesting probable cause, are you?
I don't have an affidavit in front of me to review, but
Well, I read it, though.
Your Honor.
Yeah, so I found probable cause. And the bond on that was $250 and no return to the Tier nightclub. But I guess the real issue, Mr. Akatunis, is he's out on bond on carrying a concealed firearm. Is that why you're here?
Yes, Judge. I represent him on the carrying a concealed firearm case, and that case was actually referred to the pretrial diversion program back on February 1st. At this point, he hasn't had a contract signing date or anything like that yet because it's kind of new. I would ask the court to take no action on the case that he's out on bond on.
So, Jail, any other history of Mr. Barboza?
I do see one misdemeanor conviction for cannabis possession.
Okay.
That's the only convictions I see in his history.
So what, State, do you even know what they're going to do? The fact that he picked up the new charge, are they going to kick him out of pretrial diversion?
It's likely that they will. This is a city case, so they may not cross
Okay.
over. But if he does have a pending charge, the norm is that they won't be eligible for PTD anymore.
All right, so Mr. Barboza, I've got good news and bad news. Which one you want first?
I'll take the good news.
Good news is I'm not going to revoke your bond.
Thank you, sir.
Want the bad news?
Sir.
The judge handling that case in Division 19 may revoke it if you get kicked out of pretrial diversion, okay?
All right.
I don't know. It'll be up to them.
Sir.
All right, anything else, Mr. Akatunis?
Yes, Judge. With regards to the no return to Tier, Mr. Barboza is actually an employee of Tier nightclub as a doorman.
I'm a security guard.
Bouncer,
Yeah.
security guard. So I would ask the court to delete that condition so he'd be able to work.
Well, I mean, that's more on Tier than anything else. They're the ones that are going to get sued for having, if another incident occurs, they're going to pull this out and say, hey, but that's up to Tier. Okay, let's put it this way. You can't go to Tier nightclub unless it's part of your work.
I only go for work.
Well, I'm just saying you can't otherwise be there.
Yes, sir.
That'll work.
And I'm going to go ahead and add, don't consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. If you have any, surrender within 24 hours to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, okay? All right, anything else, Mr. Akatunis?
No, Your Honor, except for Mr. Barboza. You can give me a call on Monday. Once you get out, we can talk about this new case.
Yeah, I wouldn't meet with them in person for the next week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, get better.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. You have a good weekend.
All right,
Thank you.
yep. Who's next? Oh, we're done? Okay, Dennis Schaff, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Schaff, there's a warrant issued on an alleged violation of your probation on your underlying convictions for petty theft and resisting merchandise recovery. And the judge has set it at a no bond status. So we're going to appoint the PD and they'll schedule a bond hearing with the judge on that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So we're getting into domestic world, so make sure you stand up out there. If you see someone, in your case, just get up to that door. Is Carmen, are you there, Carmen? She's there? Are you hiding, Carmen? Okay. All right. All right, are you Miss Denisha Addison?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Addison. You're here because there was well, hold on a second. Let me pull this apart. All right, this was a warrant that was issued on a burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein, a straight battery, and then a criminal mischief greater than $1,000. So the judge has found probable cause that you were put no bond on counts 1 and 2, but I can give you a bond now, okay? And that's what we're going to deal with. So count 3 is a $1,000 bond. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. And Jail, do you want to tell me about Miss Addison?
Sure. I don't see any prior convictions. She does have prior arrests, though, for agbat DV, battery DV, child neglect, and simple assault, and I believe some of those were with the same victim.
Okay, because that first count, that burglary, that was an incident of domestic violence. So, Mr. Public Defender, tell me your thoughts on bond conditions.
Your Honor, she indicated that she'd be able to afford $1,000 or $100 bond. We were able, obviously, count 3 being set at 1,000 is going to be $100 in and of itself. We'd ask the court to consider a reduction in this case. I'm confused on is the alleged victim in this case having prior. I didn't look into that, obviously, Your Honor, but to my understanding, this was an issue between my client and the his new girlfriend. It's not really, it's, I guess, technically domestic in nature, Your Honor, but like, the court understands the point I'm trying to make. It's not domestic in the sense that we're gonna have to worry about, I think, repeat incidences happening, at least at this point in time, Your Honor. They're not involved romantically, at least is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
As far as that, Your Honor, again, essentially posting any sort of bond amount above $100 is going to be outside of my client's ability. We'd be asking the court to consider that in setting it.
Okay, so I get it. Boyfriend's baby mama disagreement allegedly, and this is what happened. So, look, I'm gonna set the bond on count one at $250, $250 on count two. We're gonna leave $1,000 on count three. But we are gonna put provisions in there. You're not to have any contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. You're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And if you have any, surrender them within 24 hours to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. All right, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, are we up to Miss McLean?
But the 1,000 needed the bond.
And Ms. McLean does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
All right, are you Tanika McLean?
Yes, sir.
Looks like your boyfriend's here. Are you Lindell?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you just show your ID to the state so we confirm who you are? Are you here about terms of release? Because I can't drop the charges.
No, sir, no.
Well, why are you here?
I got a call from the Orange County to show up here in regards to family contacting me. I want to set a no contact clause, and yeah, that's why I'm here. Also because I want to, make sure, I set an injunction in place there.
Okay, I appreciate you coming here. Okay, so Ms. McLean, you're charged with aggravated assault with a firearm and criminal mischief greater than 200 but less than $1,000. I did review the paperwork. I found probable causes for both charges. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. We are going to give you a bond at this point, but we're going to add conditions to it. So, Jail, anything I need to know about Ms. McLean?
No prior convictions, just a prior arrest for arson.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put count one is going to be $500. Count two is going to be $250. And you're to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're going to give you a form for you to read and sign that confirms that. So, Mr. Adrien, you got to make sure that you don't contact her, or it could violate if she responds. Do you all have any children together?
No, sir.
Okay.
Also, a third party, her sisters, mom, anyone to also, please do not reach out to me.
Well, if they reach out to you on her behalf at her request, that would be a violation. But they're not here, they're not parties. I can't order them to do anything. Okay? But Ms. McLean will be careful about the contact. Now, does she have any items at the place, at the house?
I moved all of my things out, so I have no items there.
Okay, so you've moved out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I wanted to confirm that, so you can go back to your Nelson Park apartment, because he's moved everything out.
He's moved some of my things out as well.
Well, that's a different issue, I can't deal with that today. I'm just telling you, you can go back, because he's out of there, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, so that's, you got a place to stay. Now, don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs during the pendency of the case. I don't know why I say it, pendency of the case. Don't ever do illegal drugs. I don't know, whatever. Okay, but don't to possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and surrender any such items that you possess to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 24 hours of release. Did you have any other questions, Mr. Adrien?
Yes, her family been reaching out to me since yesterday. That's why I've stressed about the third party, and it was derogative texts about, calling me, ugly names, and it's not, feasible. It's not correct for me at all. So just want to stress that.
Well, I don't give legal advice. I've been known to give procedural advice. There are some remedies. If you went down to the clerk's office on Monday, to the injunction department, they could tell you some remedies you could have. I would keep copies of everything, and I would not respond to any of those inquiries. Okay?
After today, yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, anything else?
Nope, I'm good to go.
Okay, you understand, Ms. McLean? Are we clear? Okay, all right. Desiree Soto?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I don't see your stepmom here. So, all right, Ms. Soto, you're charged with tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement officer and battery is an incident of domestic violence. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. So, Jail, what do we know about Ms. Soto?
She has 4 felony convictions, 6 misdemeanor, 3 FTAs. She does have an adult battery conviction and a juvenile battery conviction.
Okay.
Your Honor, she indicated she'd be able to afford $100 to a bondsman.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to set bond at $250 on count 1 and $250 on count 2. You're to have no contact whatsoever, direct or indirect, with the victim. I'm going to put in there, you have to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the law enforcement officer if you've got stuff there to get your belongings. Do not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons or firearms. If you have any, surrender them within 24 hours of your release to the Orange County Sheriff's Department. So be very careful on the no contact. People violate all the time by sending text messages and stuff. Don't do it.
Your Honor, and she would need a one-time return as well.
Yeah, I put it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Your Honor.
got it. All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Akeem Wallace. All right, are you Tiffany Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any ID with you to show the state?
Do.
Okay, you're Akeem Wallace?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're here on a battery by strangulation as an incident of domestic violence, and then a straight battery as an incident of domestic violence. I've reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause for both charges, and I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. Now, that's Ms. Rodriguez? Ms. Cano? Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez, are you here to I can't drop any charges. This is just probable cause. State hadn't filed yet, okay? This is just the beginning. Are you here to discuss terms of release
Yes,
of your
and
husband?
contact, be able to have contact. We live together.
I understand.
Long term, we're married, so I'm okay with the contact.
You know, I hear what you're saying, but if I were to allow him to return with a no hostile or violent contact with you, if he's in the home, there's nothing I can do to protect you.
I understand.
What do we know about Mr. Wallace?
He has 5 felony convictions, 11 misdemeanors, 4 FTAs. I don't see any violent convictions, just an improper exhibit of a weapon or firearm, and he does qualify for BTR.
State?
Your Honor, while there is no convictions, there is a history of domestic battery, strangulation, domestic aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic battery, 2 counts of domestic battery, and domestic violence obstruction. So.
Okay, so
And-
you'd be
and-
against the no hostile?
I would be, yes, the state would be against the no hostile contact, and would just like to put on the record, considering that this is by strangulation and her voice still seems pretty hoarse, the state is very concerned about there being contact between the victim and then the defendant.
Your Honor, we have no frame of reference as to what her voice is. It's the first time the state attorney's ever met her. We don't know if she talks like that always. I mean, if the state wants to inquire. Additionally, Your Honor, as far as his history is concerned, those are just allegations. I will acknowledge the court will give that due weight. As the court's also familiar, a lot of these domestic cases, they come in on baseless accusations just as much as they come in on actual accusations. So the fact that those cases were dismissed, we don't know what happened, but we can't assume one way or another. Additionally, Your Honor, the state didn't point out that this was the same alleged victim. Domestic violence cases come out in many shapes, different forms. This could have been brother on brother. son on father. This is a million different ways that this could have happened. We don't have any evidence that he's committed domestic violence crimes in the same nature as what's being alleged in this case. Additionally, Your Honor, I think that it's important to give weight to the complaining witness in this case. We're not babysitters. She's a grown woman. She understands the situation. She's able to make a conscious, well-reasoned decision, which is why she came down here today. She had to do a lot to come down here. It wasn't as just pick up the phone and talk to you. She had to wake up. She had to drive down here. She had to go through security. And she did all that to make sure that she wanted everyone to know that she's feeling comfortable with him having contact with her, that she's okay with him coming home. Your Honor, for all those reasons, we'd be asking for no hostile contact.
Your Honor, one more, if the state can make one more point, there was a third party, Gabrielle Clarkson, who was actually the caller. And it seems that she's in the same home as the victim in this case. And considering that she's not here to testify as
The daughter, isn't she?
she is, but she's
Yes,
20 years old.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my daughter. If I would have known she had to come down here, I would have brought her. Officer Taylor did not instruct that to me, or else I would have had her come down as well.
So do you talk normally like this, or is this from the alleged event?
No. I was out last night, hanging out with my friends, so
Okay,
this is a result from that. It's not a result from the incident.
gotcha. Hey, Mr. Wallace, there's something I gotta cover with you. I kind of sidestepped it. The clerk's saying you don't qualify for the public defender. You indicated on your application, you take home $900 a week. Is that correct?
No.
What's your take-home pay?
My take home would probably be $640 after taxes.
A week?
Yes.
Yeah, you still don't qualify. Have they? Well, if he qualifies, he qualifies. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So look, so he was just talking on your behalf as a friend of the court. I can't appoint the PD because you don't qualify. You're gonna have to get your own counsel. All right? So look, here's what I'm doing, and I appreciate you being down here, but I want to make sure everybody's safe. So I'm gonna set bond at 500 on count 1, 500 on count 2, and you're to have no contact whatsoever, direct or indirect, with your wife during the pendency of this case. Now, do y'all have any minor children together right now?
No.
Okay, so listen, this is probable cause, okay? Here's the scales at Justice Tower, you got it? We're on first floor right now. This thing, state's gotta make charging decisions. The judge assigned to the case can change whatever I just did. But right now, we're gonna have that cooling off period of no contact, okay? And so you gotta maintain separate residence. You're gonna return one time with law enforcement officer, get your personal belongings. Don't make the mistake just because she'd like you back in the home. If you go back there and they find out, your bond's gonna be revoked, so avoid that. Separate right now, let it cool off. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And surrender any such items within 24 hours of your release to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You understand, sir? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's got a monetary bond right now. If someone posts it, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But you can't be texting him or him texting you. That gets him in trouble.
Okay.
So you know, third parties, things of that nature. Of course, he can come back one time with law enforcement to get his personal items. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for coming down. All right, is Sean, is it Berga? And is this Cassandra De Jesus?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you pull your ID out and show it to the state? Is that her? De Jesus?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr., is it Berga?
Sir.
Okay. You're charged with a misdemeanor battery as an incident of domestic violence. I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause for the charges. Now, Ms. De Jesus, are you down here to discuss visitation or contact during the pendency of the
I
case?
didn't want to press any charges or anything like that, so I still want to have contact. We live together and we also have a newborn child
Yeah,
together.
you do have a little baby, I saw that. So, you're saying you would like to have contact with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand, Ms. De Jesus, if I do that, I can't protect you.
Yeah,
If he's in the house
he's not aggressive at all.
and if something happens, there's nothing I can do, and you got a baby too. You
I
know what
know.
I'm saying?
I
You-
know.
And you feel comfortable?
Very comfortable.
Okay, so let me ask the jail about Mr. Vargas' background.
He just has 2 misdemeanor convictions, 1 FTA. The convictions are just for Dwellis and disorderly intox, and he does qualify for PTR.
Okay, so, Mr. Berga, you're watching the Super Bowl, and Miss De Jesus wants to watch the Hallmark Channel. What is your response?
Happy wife, happy life.
Does that mean we get to watch Hallmark instead of the Super Bowl?
Yes, Your Honor.
See? So you now are gonna have the keys to the jail. I'd be very careful if I were you, sir. So if he in any way becomes hostile or violent, if you tell him to take the garbage out and he cusses at you, you call the police, secure your
I would
safety
never.
and your child. Call the police, they'll come down and pick him up and he'll be down here on a no bond status. Can you do that for us?
That'd be fine.
Even if you feel like something's happening, you need to protect yourself and your child. Do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you, so remember, Hallmark Channel. Okay, so I'll do PTR plus a $100 bond. No hostile or violent contact with your girlfriend, okay? The victim. I don't want any alcohol or illegal drugs in the home, so you're not to consume or possess any. I don't want any guns if there are.
No, there's no
Weapons or ammunition in the home, so you don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and surrender any such items within 24 hours of release to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. So, Mr. Barry, do you think you can comply with the conditions I just set?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're gonna be on your best behavior?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. De Jesus, you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, good luck. Do we have Ms. Bergdahl? Are you Aaron Bergdahl?
I am.
Okay. All right. Are you Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And that is confirmed. The boyfriend?
Yes.
All right. Are you here to also discuss terms of contact?
The main reason I'm here today is to get on the record that I believe she needs rehab, not jail time. And on Monday, I'm gonna go down and file a restraining order because she threatened the life of my 2 children and to burn down my house.
Okay. Yeah, down at the clerk's office.
Yep.
The
fifth
big
floor.
courthouse. Okay, so Ms. Bergdahl, you're charged with battery as an incident of dating violence. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause for the charges. And I understand Mr. Lowe's concern is based on what the charging affidavit says. And so, Jill, anything?
Just 3 misdemeanor convictions. They were for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of cannabis, and Dwellis.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set the bond at $250, but you're not to have any contact, direct or indirect, with Mr. Lowe or his children. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And you are, do not return to the scene. Do y'all maintain separate residences?
Yes, we're separate residences, yes.
Yeah, so she doesn't have anything at your place?
Correct.
Okay, so again, maintain separate residences. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Surrender any such items within 24 hours of release to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Did you have a question?
Yes, Your Honor. The scene was her parents' house. That's where she's currently residing.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had that down. I was confusing her with another one. So forget the maintain separate residence. I'm sorry. Forget the do not return. I thought I kicked that one out, but still don't maintain separate residence from him, Mr. Lowe. And Ms. Bergdahl, do not disappoint me on this one, okay? Those were very serious allegations, and you do what you have to do, Mr. Lowe.
I will.
Any other questions?
I want her to know I care for her and I want her to get the help.
I understand it, it's not something I can order right now.
I know.
The next judge could,
I'm
yes?
talking to her.
Yeah, I hear you.
Deanna, was that straight bond or was that pretrial release with the bond?
That was straight bond.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Deloney? Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How are you? All right. I'm hanging in there. Are you Chloe Brown?
Yes, sir.
Do you have your ID with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, Mr. Deloney, you're charged with battery as an incident of dating violence. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Now, Ms. Brown, you're the alleged victim and girlfriend of Mr. Deloney. Are you here to discuss contact with him?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking to have contact with him?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if I do that, I can't protect you?
Yes, sir.
And just like the earlier individual, I mean, if you allow Mr. Deloney to be in the same residence with you and something happens, there's nothing I can do. Are you willing to take that chance?
I understand.
All right, what about having a cooling off period?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir. The person that owns the residence said that he needed to move.
Okay, well, I mean, we could do a maintain separate residence, but have, no hostile or violent contact.
That's fine.
Is that something you could do, sir?
Sir,
It's probably for everybody's benefit.
it's understandable.
Okay, so I'm gonna set the bond at $250.
He does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Straight PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 250 or straight PTR. And, all right, so I'm gonna put it at, as requested by Ms. Brown, I'm gonna put it at no hostile or violent contact with the victim, but you do have to maintain separate residences. So you can return one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings from the place. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And if you own any such things, turn it into the sheriff's department within 24 hours of your release. All right, you think you'll be able to do that?
Sir.
Okay, so you can never be over at her residence, wherever her residence is, during the pendency of the case. If she sees you outside of the residence, you have to avoid being hostile or violent. And if he does, can you promise me, Ms. Brown, that you're gonna secure your safety and then call the police if he becomes violent or hostile? Yes? Say it verbally. I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, and also, if you receive any communications by email, Facebook, you name it, I don't know what all these social medias are, but if it's hostile or violent, make a copy of it and call the police. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, sir, we're counting on you to abide by that.
And that was bond or, Your Honor, correct?
Yes, that's correct. All right, Miss Gill, are you there? All right, are you Kimberly Gill?
Yes.
All right, looks like we have someone here with you.
Jesus.
This is it Jack Gill? Jack Gill.
All right, and you are the?
Husband.
Husband, all right. Thank you for being here. Are you here also to discuss contact?
Yes.
Okay. So, Ms. Gill, you're charged with batteries and incident of domestic violence. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. We've got two types of contact, which is no contact, direct or indirect. And then we have no hostile or violent contact with the victim. What are you asking, sir?
Contact, fine. She live with me.
You want contact with her?
Yes.
And you want her to come back into the home?
Yes.
And you feel that you'd be safe?
Yes.
All right, so what do we know about Kimberly Gill?
She does qualify for PTR. She has one felony conviction, 2 misdemeanors. She has no violent convictions, but she does have multiple arrests for DV-related charges.
So, Ms. Gill, when it's the Super Bowl's on, he wants to watch the Super Bowl and you want to watch Hallmark. What are you going to do?
Let him watch Super Bowl.
There you go. All right? So be careful, because if he says take the garbage out and you give him the wrong response, he may call the police saying you were violent or hostile. So be very, very careful, because he kind of controls whether you go back to jail or not. You know what I mean? So be careful. All right, so we'll do the $250 or straight PTR. And then we'll put the no hostile or violent contact with the victim. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. If you have any, turn them in to the sheriff's department within 24 hours of your release. All right? Okay, any questions, Mr. Gill?
Yes, would that be, straight PTR release or?
Yeah, here's the problem, though. I think we got them to admit that it's 4 to 6 hours from now before she'll get out on straight PTR. Is that a fair statement?
It takes a couple hours, Your Honor. It all depends on how quickly they get brought down.
Okay, just remember, there's a government contract at the main courthouse to build out the 14th floor. They were supposed to be done in July of last year, and it's still going, so I don't know when, but it'll be at some point.
Yes, you can give me a call once you get our release.
Okay, good luck.
All right, thank you.
So you're still leaving it bond or, Your Honor, correct?
Bond or straight PTR? Do we have Stacy Hunt back there? All right, I don't see your boyfriend here today. Okay, so, Ms. Hunt, you're here on battery as an incident of dating violence, and I reviewed the paperwork, and I found probable cause for the charges. Now, again, I don't have Jordan here to discuss what his thoughts are on it, but PTR, tell me about Ms. Hunt.
She has no prior history. She does qualify for PTR.
So, I mean, he's your boyfriend. I believe they live together, don't they? No. No?
That's fine.
Okay, so you're saying he's not there. So if I said maintain a separate residence, and you go back to that Maitland address, you don't live there? Okay, good. All right, so state any reason we can't keep this no hostile, or what?
Your Honor, just with the victim not appearing, we would ask for no contact, but I understand the court's.
No, I'm just wondering why. So look, he's not here to tell me one way or the other his thoughts. You're not living together anyway. So let's just, probably for everybody's benefit, I'm gonna make it no contact, direct or indirect with the victim. And there's a form for you to fill out. So I don't know if the defendants can hear me while I'm doing IAs in the back, but you want to avoid text messages, postings on Facebooks that are directed to him. He calls you, don't answer. He texts you, don't respond. Because if you respond, you're violating this order. Now, the judge assigned to the case, if the state files on it, I believe be Judge Shoemaker, Division 50, he can modify all this. Okay, but right now, just be real extra careful. So that's no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. We've already confirmed you don't live there, so that's fine. Do not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. And if you have any, turn it into the sheriff's office over in Brevard County, where you live, within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to work her up for the,
PTR, straight PTR?
yeah, it's 250 or
Or
straight
250 or
PTR.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck, ma'am.
Your Honor, was the Office of the Public Defender appointed in this case?
They are now.
Okay.
PD's pointed. All right, Ms. Mccumber, are you there?
Yes.
Don Mccumber, how are you? Is that Jerry, the husband? How are you, sir?
All right, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
All right.
So I'm not going to get into the particulars of what happened here, but it wouldn't be a Hallmark movie, but it would be on a channel if they made a movie out of this, okay? So look, Ms. Mccumber, this is just probable cause, and I found probable cause for the batteries and incident of domestic violence. Again, this is a misdemeanor battery. So, sir, are you here on contact purposes?
Yes, I would like to have contact with, we live together, we own a catering business. I'm not in fear.
Okay. How about you, Ms. Mccumber? It doesn't mean you have to go back, but,
I want to go back. I'm not in fear.
okay. So look, what we're gonna do, she's eligible for PTR, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set you up for pretrial release. We'll put no hostile or violent contact with the victim. And, you know, don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammo. If you have any, turn it into the sheriff's office within 24 hours.
Your Honor,
Yes.
can we add a no contact with this third party? I guess it's a witness. Or,
Yeah, Don Mccumber.
no, that's her. The,
You what?
if we can add a
Takesha
no
Pryor?
contact with, yes.
Yeah. Let's do that. No contact with Jakeisha Pryor. All right?
And Judge, that was straight probably, or bond?
She's a non-factor anyway. I don't even know why.
Yeah, but again, I read this and I said it would make a movie. It was straight PTR.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we appointed the PD. All right. Mr. McDonald, are you back there?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you Melissa Iverson?
Yes, sir.
You the girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend.
Okay, so Mr. McDonald, you're charged with assault as an incident of dating violence. I reviewed the paperwork, I found probable cause. Ms. Iverson, are you here to discuss contact with Jamin?
Yes, I would like a no contact order,
Okay,
please.
so keep it separate. I agree, those are the best things to do initially. Y'all may reconcile, but we need to keep that separated. Is he eligible for any type of pretrial release?
He is, Your Honor. He's eligible for PTR.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, Mr. McDonald. We appointed the PD. We're gonna make it a no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim, okay? Which means also you gotta make sure, Ms. Iverson, that you don't text him or anything, because if he responds, that violates him, okay? So, you don't have any children or anything like that, it was just a dating situation, correct?
Correct.
I don't know,
Okay.
they work together as well.
Well, that's gonna be a problem. So, Ms. Iverson, you tell me about working together. What's going on?
We work together and I'd like a no contact order, but I've already spoken to my job and he's missed work, so I guess getting arrested isn't an excuse to miss work, but I guess that's something they'll talk to him about.
Well, but here's what I kind of mean. I'm sorry, I was poor on my part.
Okay.
You know, we work together, all of us here
Mhm.
at the Ninth Circuit. But I mean, court administration's got like 300 employees and there's 69 judges and, you
Understood.
know, state attorneys and Orange and Ocerio. How close do y'all work? Are you in the same office?
We work in a restaurant together in the same department.
Okay, are y'all working at the same time, same shifts?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, counsel. What are you gonna say?
Your Honor, for purposes of the no contact order, that's fine outside of work. At work, I would ask that there's a no hostile contact. I believe they work at a Buffalo Wild Wings together. I think that there'd be plenty of witnesses to attest to any sort of contact as to what's going on. They're not gonna be alone while they're at work. I wouldn't want him to lose his employment because of this. At this point in time, Your Honor, it's a he said, she said situation. As you know, it's a very trial-worthy case. At this point, I'd also ask the court to consider the fact that he has little to no criminal history and is qualifying for PTR.
I hear you, but in abundance of caution, you're just gonna have to work somewhere else. If she's working there, you can't be in contact with her. You know, if it was a big organization, we could work out. If you were in school together, we could say different hallways. We can't do that here. It's not gonna work out. Now, look, I did have a question though, because I'm not sure I should have appointed the PD, because the clerk didn't yell at me. And it says your take-home is $700 a week. You would not qualify for the PD at that rate. Is that what it is? Yeah,
It varies from week to week. It just kind of depends because I'm a server.
yeah. So average take-home pay,
It's less than $700.
like what? Because you've got no dependents.
About $100 a night is what I average.
5 nights a week?
About 5 nights a week.
He's not gonna qualify, is he? A week, no, 100.
He does qualify. The cutoff for weekly is 522.
I'm appointing the PD, and I'm gonna modify your affidavit for you. Okay, so let's go over everything. You said he would qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, so the bond's $250 or pretrial release, whatever you want to do. You, again, no contact, direct or indirect with the victim, which means you're gonna have to work at another Buffalo Wild Wings. Don't consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, do not possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Surrender such items immediately within 24 hours of your release from this. So just avoid Mr. McDonald. You're gonna have to call your employer, let them know what the judge said, see if they can get you somewhere else, or you're gonna have to go somewhere else. And so avoid going to her place of work, her home, places of worship, wherever she frequents, you need to avoid those. If you're at the Tier nightclub downtown, and you walk in and she's there, what do?
Leave.
You leave, okay? So I don't care if you have courtside seats to a Magic game. If she's in the building, you leave, okay? All right, is that good? Any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you.
No, because we got it broad enough. We're good. All right, Mr. Walton, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, Keaton Walton. All right, so let's talk about what you're here for. There is an allegation you violated a domestic violence injunction, a no contact. And I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause for the charges. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. The judge in that case, Judge Shoemaker, may be making some decisions himself when he gets all this paperwork. But he's out on bond, isn't he?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In 2021 CF 15146 on some drug charges.
That's correct.
So I'm going to give you a bond on this one.
Your Honor, I don't believe that they filed. I don't know if the state could confirm on that.
Oh, have you not filed on that?
Your Honor, I can look it up.
Okay.
I didn't see it in my paperwork, so.
Really? Gosh, he bonded it out on December 28th.
He was 33-day motion, Your Honor.
Oh, was he?
Your Honor, do you mind giving me the case number
Yeah, it's
again?
2021 CF 15146.
I don't see anything filed on Odyssey, Your Honor.
I don't see anything in case management.
Yeah,
but
so I'm not going to touch that bond.
I'll look in, just to confirm on the clerk site, but.
Oh, they did? Yeah, it looks like you're not going forward on it. So we're not going to touch that because I don't, at this point, it doesn't look like the state's pursuing it. So let's get back to this one. We'll set the bond at, what else do we know about him?
2 felony convictions, 3 misdemeanors, 3 FTAs. I don't see any battery convictions, though he does have some battery robbery arrests in his history.
All right, so I'm setting the bond at $500. Comply with all the terms and condition of your injunction, and no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. Don't consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, and don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and surrender those to the sheriff's office within 24 hours if you have any. Do you understand?
Sir.
Okay. Edgewaard? Did he make it out? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, it's Faye Allen, I got it. All right, you're Ms. Everly Edward? Yes. Okay. All right, so we're on new charges of battery as an incident of domestic violence. I did review the paperwork and found probable cause. And I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. Now, state, I think she's also out on a petty theft. 2021 MM 1857.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I have to search in my stack for wherever this case is, and then I.
Yeah.
Reset.
I think this is a reset.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can y'all tell me about her background?
Second, Your Honor, I was just finding her paperwork. I don't see any convictions. She does have a Florida arrest for an ag assault DV with a different victim. It does look like she's on active PTD.
Really? No, that's not gonna last.
Out on PTD.
Okay. Okay, so this involves your mom, this alleged incident. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you a bond of $250, no contact, direct or indirect, with your mom, the victim. Maintain separate residence. Do not consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. If you got any personal items there, you can return one time with law enforcement to get them. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Surrender any such items within 24 hours of your release. So I'm not going to touch that other one because she's on pretrial diversion. I'm going to let them decide what to do, but there may be a chance they're going to take you off PTD in light of this new charge. I don't know.
Your Honor, when I read this, I don't see a crime being committed. I see that my client was false imprisoned even by the admission of the alleged victim in this case, and that she
Slap
said
it in
I
the
was
face?
preventing them from leaving with the children. It's my client's children. She could take her children wherever she wants, that she stood in front, and then that is when my client struck her as she was preventing them from leaving. That's self-defense. That's stand your ground all day. She's allowed to do that. If someone's preventing her from leaving, preventing her children from leaving, she was defending herself.
Okay. I'm sure Judge Shoemaker will appreciate those arguments, but I'm not going to change. So you've got your walking papers on this.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
Edward Willie,
Your Honor, I'm sorry, what was there a bond?
250
Thank you.
plus the no contact, yada, yada.
I have all the conditions, I just didn't.
Yeah.
And they did tell me about this, so I have.
All right, Edward Willie? Is that you?
Edward Vance, second.
Oh, hold on a second. So it's Edward Vance Willie, or did they put it in wrong?
First name is Willie, middle name is Edward, last name is Vance.
Okay, so Jail, it's typed in wrong, which happens. You got him as Edward Vance Willie. So is this? Mr. Vance?
Yes, sir.
Y'all agree it's Mr. Vance?
Your Honor, we could confirm with his date of birth, just as a precaution.
His fingerprints have cleared. He has been.
Okay,
identified, Your Honor.
so we're gonna call him Edward Vance?
Willie.
Willie Vance? Okay. All right, so with that confirmation, Mr. Vance, you're charged with an aggravated battery with permanent disfigurement and battery as an incident of domestic violence. I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause for the charges. I don't see Ms. Lozama here, so I'm going to be setting a bond. What else do we know about Mr. Vance?
He's got 3 felony convictions, 1 misdemeanor, a conviction for possession of a weapon, and then he does have arrests for ag assault with a weapon, DV, and battery.
All right. Is he eligible for any type of
He is not,
bond
Your
with
Honor.
PTR?
No, he did not qualify.
Yeah. All right, so, Mr. Vance, I'm going to set the bond as follows. You ready? $2,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You're to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. You are to clearly maintain separate residences, so you can return one time with law enforcement officers to get your belongings if Ms. Lozama is still living at that address. Well, I'm just saying if she does, okay? You're listed as the live-in boyfriend. She may have moved, I don't know. But that's the case. You You have to have separate residences. So if she's there, you gotta get a law enforcement one time to get your belongings. Mr. Vance, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess or own any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and surrender any such items within 24 hours of your release to the sheriff's office. Do you understand?
You understand you can't have-
All right, we appointed the PD for you.
Your Honor, he indicated he's homeless, he won't be able to afford the $2,000 bond. I just wanted to put that on the record.
Okay, duly noted, but I'm gonna keep the bond as is. All right, do we have Jose Baez,
They might give you 200 for everything out the door.
all right, Jose Baez, is it Capellas?
Fellas.
Capellas?
Yes.
All right. How are you doing today, sir? Doing okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so look, here's what's going on. You got some new charges. Possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I read the paperwork. I found probable cause. I'm gonna leave the bonds at 1,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2. Appoint the PD to represent you. Do not consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. Now, state, I'm showing he's out on some drug charges in 2022 CF 429. What's the status on that?
I'm sorry, it was 4129?
No, 429.
429.
2022 429.
I don't have any, I don't see a filing.
Yeah, I mean, he was just arrested on January 12th.
Clerk site, he was supposed to have a hearing at the jail, on 113, and there's no other notes after that. And
We bonded out on February 1st.
it seems like it's still in intake, so.
Okay. Mr. Baez Capitalist, I'm going to revoke your bond in that case. I know it's early going on that, but that was a condition of your bond. So I'll appoint the PD and you can schedule a hearing with the judge in Division 19 to see if they'll give you a bond. All right? Orlando Bostick. Are you Orlando Bostick?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bostick, you're charged with resisting an officer without violence and petty theft from a merchant, that being Target. I reviewed the paperwork and found probable cause for the charges. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. Now, I'm going to reduce the bond. On count 1, it'll be 1,000. Count 2, it'll be $100. But no return to the Target store in question. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Are we clear? All right.
And I think,
Hold on. I'm signing stuff and I'm not grabbing everything. You're right. I got some more here. Hold on. See, I shouldn't be signing when I do that. So that's the new charges.
there are
Now we got a warrant.
3 charges?
All right, hold on. I've got the 2 for the Target, and that's 2022 CF 1456. I've got the warrant. Is there something else
I
out
see
of date?
3 charges for that, Your Honor. There's 2 resistings without. And then, okay.
You were right. There are 2 counts of resisting. So we'll do 1,000 on count 1, count 2 will be 100, and then count 3 will be 100. Okay? Now, Dade County, as I call it, where I was born, they changed it to Miami-Dade, but I refuse to recognize Miami in front of Dade, would like to see you. And they've got a warrant with a no bond. Now, it's 2 warrants that they have. Now, the interesting thing, and this is for an alleged violation of probation, okay? There will be a struggle between Dade and Orange on who gets you and when, all right? So Orange typically will keep you till they finish with you on your case, and then they'll tell Dade to come pick you up. I'll let you, I'm not appointing an attorney in your Dade case, but your attorney on that can give you some options on that. You got any questions? You're not going anywhere. Check.
Next, court date here.
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you. You have to talk to the judge in that division and your PD in that division. All right, Ms. Diaz-Zayas. I want to say Zazas, but it's, how do you say it? Zayas. I was just thinking about a cafe con leche from Zazas right now when I saw your name. Well, good afternoon. So let's talk about your situation. You picked up some new charges, possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia, reviewed the paperwork, found probable cause, going to appoint the PD to represent you. I'm going to keep the bonds at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on count 2. But we've got some other issues we got to deal with. So let's talk, everyone. So we got a 2019 CF 17179. It's a violation of probation on the underlying conviction for scheme to defraud and grand theft third degree. And then we got a petty theft with prior convictions and resisting merchandise recovery and a battery in a county court case 2021 MM 7702.
It's already separate.
Everybody see those? Are they still going?
Yes, Your Honor, those are still open cases.
Yeah. So,
Out on bond.
ma'am, in light of you picking up these new charges, I'm revoking your bond in both of those cases. You'll need to go to the different judges. We'll point the PD if you don't already have, it's Division 22 and 82, to see if they will give you a bond in light of this. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Duarte DeLilly? I'm sure I mispronounced that.
He wasn't.
Okay. Is it, how do you say it? Duarte?
Duarte.
Just Duarte? Okay, so you're Jamil Duarte?
Chamio, yeah.
Okay, sir. Does your family know you're down here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to appoint the PD. Listen, you got new charges. Burglary of an occupied dwelling.
I didn't.
Don't talk about the facts. Again, this is just probable cause. Very low level on things. So they haven't even filed on it yet.
We have a probable cause argument too.
Oh, please, go ahead. Where he
Uh,
climbed up to the side of the building to get on the second story balcony of the apartment?
No crime there within, Judge.
With no crime therein.
Trespassing at best, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, the only argument the state would have was that he was told that he was not welcome and invited to the residence, and he still tried to enter the residence. If there's an intent to commit any crime therein, it would be a trespass entering into the building. But other than that, we would ask for a 24-hour reset to get more facts in order to establish probable cause.
Your Honor, just
Yeah.
I'm sure the court's aware trespass can't be the crime there within for burglary. The lesser included. She described a trespass.
I'm going to reset 24 hours. So I'll let Judge Johnson decide what to do in this case. Omar Harris.
Refuse, Your Honor.
All right. Michael Jackson.
Refuse, Your Honor.
Oh. Dino Joseph. Are you Dino Joseph?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Joseph, you're charged with trafficking cocaine greater than 28 but less than 200 grams and possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. Now, in your affidavit for the public defender, you put, because the clerk says you don't qualify, you put $540, but you didn't say how often you get paid.
I get paid every week, sir.
All right, so take-home pay. What's your take-home pay every week?
540.
Okay, so he is off by $540 weekly with no dependents. Does it vary at all? Sometimes less?
No, it's like
Okay,
40 hours every week. Yeah, that's how much.
gotcha. Look, you're just almost there where I can't appoint a public defender at this point. So, I'm not
You ever
gonna,
miss work?
No, not, only unless, holidays coming in.
well, look, you're gonna have to get your own attorney at this point, but you can address this in Division 20 to see if you requalify for a public defender. But I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause for the charges. What else do we know about Mr. Joseph?
You got 2 felony convictions, 5 misdemeanors, 1 failure to appear.
Drug?
Do see some prior drug arrests as well as a conviction for possession of cannabis.
All right, I'm gonna leave the bonds at 50,000 on count 1, 150 on count 2, and do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You need to contact a private attorney.
Your Honor, as a friend of the court, Mr. Joseph indicated he'd only be able to afford $1,000 to a bondsman. That would be a $10,000 bond.
Oh, I'm gonna leave it as it is, so. All right, John, is it Oper Mangreen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Brandon Walker?
Are we resetting that case for tomorrow?
What, the refusal? Yeah, these are all for tomorrow.
Refuse, Your Honor, Brandon.
And Brandon will join him. Oh, boy, I better send Judge Johnson some coffee or something. What do you think? He is easygoing. All right, Anthony Stringer? Is that you, sir? Okay. So I got a couple of things. One's a warrant and one's new law violation. So it's a city ordinance, open container. And I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause.
Hold on.
So I'm going to put that on an ROR status. Don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And you refused to fill out the paperwork for the PD, or did he? Well, hold on. No, you filled it out. We'll point PD. Now, you got a warrant, though. It's a capias for failing to appear on your alleged violation of probation, and the judge set it at 0. That's in case number 2020 MM 7884. So we'll point the PD on that, and you'll have to see the division, the judge in that division, see if they'll give you a bond. Do you understand?
That judge set the warrant.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go with the people that have bonded out before seeing me. Let's see. Do we have Carlos Borjan Espinita?
Yeah.
How do you say your last name?
Borjas.
Borjas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pineda is your hyphenated.
Yeah, it's Pineda is my last name. Yeah. Both of them are my last names. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I understand the mother and father thing, but all right, enough of that, all right? So look, you got charged with driving under the influence and I believe possession of more than one driver's license. Let me make sure I read that right.
And he does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Yeah. So I reviewed that and I found probable cause. So what they're saying now on the PTR and the DUIs, are they doing any type of breath testing? Or we had that discussion yesterday, didn't we?
We did, Your Honor. Yes. My supervisor was not 100% sure. She believes that they do the breath testing over there. But if you wanted to do bond or again, just to be safe, but
Okay.
we do believe that they do that over there.
Well, what I'll do is I'll put you on straight PTR with the understanding that if they offer random breath testing, that I'm including that, but that they don't offer it, that'll be, you know, to comply with that condition. Okay?
So do you
Yes.
want to order with random urinalysis, Your Honor? Because I
Okay.
mean, they will do testing.
So they do urinalysis for alcohol? I understand
I mean,
for-
I'm just saying they will test, and that way you do cover that they will test for breath test and do any tests that they need.
Is that how
to.
they do it?
If it's random to the alcohol, they test for 24 hours, I believe. So like, if it's random, they could still get him. I understand the,
Okay, so however y'all list it, we'll do a random urinalysis / breath testing.
PTR with urinalysis.
So just be aware of that. So don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Don't possess or consume any alcohol
Okay.
or illegal drugs.
Not a problem. Do have a question about my license though, because I need my license to drive, because I'm the only one that provides for my daughter at the moment.
Well, you can get a hardship license potentially, but that's something I can't deal with here. I'm just the IA judge. So we appointed a PD. You can talk to your public defender in that division.
Such a straight with the.
Yes, yeah, no monetary amount,
And that's
right?
with all cases, Your Honor, correct?
Yes. And so that was this one. And then next, we had the resisting officer without violence. And we're going to do the same provisions on that as well, on the PTR with the random urinalysis / breath testing. You understand? Okay. Hill. Are you Mr. Hill?
Yes, sir.
All right, so they charge you with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. What do we know about Mr. Hill?
It does have 4 felony convictions, 4 misdemeanors, 1 FTA. I don't see any prior driving convictions.
Okay.
He does qualify for PTR.
So PTR or $250, do not drive without a valid driver's license. And we'll appoint the PD to represent you. Okay, Mr. Hill?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does someone know you're here? Because, I mean, you already had a bond. You could have gotten out.
Yes, sir. I talked to my mother or whatnot.
Okay.
Be working on it.
I just want to make sure someone knows you're here. I don't want you sitting here. All right. Do we have Jason Rodriguez? Hold on. Jesus Rodriguez? Oh, okay. What happened to Jason? He must have bonded out. I'm going to give it to the clerk.
Do you have the booking number, Your Honor?
I do, Madam Clerk.
22002840.
They bonded.
Okay. You're Jesus Vasquez Valdez?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Valdez.
And he does qualify for PTR, Your
So
Honor.
you were charged with driving under the influence or reviewed the paperwork, found probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Now, I'm understanding that you can do pretrial release. I'll do the same thing, straight PTR with, I don't know why I say straight PTR. It's actually PTR with random urinalysis / breath testing. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Sorry, what was that?
Don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, okay? All right, so we'll appoint the PD, and you've got your bond. Again, does someone know you're down here because you already had a $500 bond?
No, I don't think so.
Well, what is it, who is it we need to contact?
Well, I've been trying to call my mom, but I don't know if the phone will be going through.
Was there anybody else? Is she local?
Yeah.
Is she like in Popka or something?
Yeah.
Okay, you got any other family, brother, sister?
Yeah, I got a sister, but I don't know her phone number.
Okay. You know, if I was still down here, I'd have my J locate calls so you could get out of here, but I know, Mr. PD, it's, you have what you have.
I mean, PTR is gonna take him, right?
Yeah, he'll get his cell phone back when he's released, and he can try
Okay.
to call somebody to come
All right.
pick him up.
And there's no reason to say 250 or PTR, is there? Or
No,
fine?
I mean, it would be straight.
All right, straight
just
PTR. All right, well, they're going to process you. Good luck. Yes.
Okay, Judge, I have a question.
Yes,
Because on
ma'am.
his case, you did not consume any drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
But on the other guy that
I
you
know,
first
that's
person,
right.
you didn't say that.
Hold on.
You want me to check?
He did.
You want me to check that box?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for catching that. Okay, are you is it Deandre? No? What happened to Sedina Deandre?
You have a booking number for them, Your Honor?
You DeMarcus English?
22002854.
They bonded.
Okay, So, Mr. English, you're charged with trespassing. And I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD.
Your Honor, Mr. English should be interested in entering a plea to the bench if the court would have one, or if the state has an offer.
Your Honor, the offer from the state would be an adjudication, credit time served, and no return.
Listen, on court costs, I'm going to say yes, court costs, but payable within a year.
All the rights that we covered in the back. Any questions, comments about your rights that you're waiving?
Okay, Mr. English, raise your right hand. We're going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, to help you God? Thank you.
All right, state your full name. When were you born?
1976.
All right, sir, as you know, you're charged with trespass of structure or conveyance. You heard the offer, adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the scene, and court costs which will be payable within 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you currently under the influence of any pills, drugs, or alcoholic beverages?
No, sir.
All right, how far did you get in school?
11.
11? All right, and you read?
Yes, sir.
Did you read over the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you understand you're going to give up valuable constitutional rights, including a right to trial by jury, the right to confront witnesses, the right to appeal? You realize by entering the plea you're giving those up?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, is anybody forcing or threatening you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And PD, are you stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of the plea?
Your Honor.
Did you say yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at it, thinking about it. I'm sorry. Okay. So, Mr. DeMarcus English, as to the charge of trespass of structure or conveyance, how do you plead? No contest, guilty or not guilty?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. Find that you're alert, you're intelligent, that the plea was freely and voluntarily given, that you understood the nature of the charges against you, and that you are, that there was a factual basis for the purpose of the plea. I'll sentence you as previously indicated. You got 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. That notice of appeal's got to be in writing and filed with the clerk's office. You can't afford attorney, we'll appoint one assuming you qualify. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck. Terrell Golding. Are you Terrell Golding?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're charged with resisting an officer without violence. I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you.
Your Honor, we have a probable cause.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Where are you at?
That he was unlawfully seized. This was not an arrestable offense. The officer just grabs his arm. This is a bike light stop. And most, per the statute, law enforcement can issue a ticket. They're actually supposed to first issue a warning ticket. So that didn't look like any of that went down in this case. Instead, rather, this officer began grabbing my client, at which point the resisting began. Your Honor, that was an unlawful seizure by law enforcement as laid out in their own arrest affidavit. There was nothing that would have allowed this officer to grab him, even if my client, he hadn't run yet. So essentially there was no arrestable offense. You can't arrest someone for not having a bike light. I don't know why this officer grabbed him.
State, do you want to respond?
No, Your Honor, the state will just defer to the court's judgment on this charge.
Okay, I think there's enough there, so I'm going to find probable cause for the charge. Now, I show that in 2022, CF 565, he's out on bond on a drug charges.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a bond on the resisting. It'll be $500 and appoint the PD, but I'm revoking your bond in 2022, CF 565.
Your Honor, they haven't filed on that case either.
It's pretty new, though. So I'm going to go ahead and revoke your bond on that one and appoint the PD, and you can talk to the PD about that.
And Your Honor, record, for purposes of record for a writ of habeas, what specifically was the court relying on as far as the finding of probable cause? If
The affidavit, the nervousness, and I think there was a basis in his attempt to flee. I think there was a basis for his doing so. There you go. All right, thank you, sir. Joshua Hinashua,
Bonded, Your Honor.
all right. Dina Jones. Ms. Jones, Dina Jones.
We don't have no Jones, Your Honor, on the docket.
Do you have a booking number for Jones, Your Honor?
22002843.
A bonded.
All right, are you Victor Gonzalez?
Sí, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez. Let's first deal with the warrant from Brevard County. There's an allegation you violated your probation on your underlying conviction for fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer. And it's a no bond basis, so you'll be held on that until such time as it's done, as they pick you up, and that'll depend on what we're doing here. He's out on bond on something else, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that was closed and entry error,
Yeah,
Your
yeah, I'm
Honor.
not gonna
That's
touch that.
what violated his.
So
probation.
they've contacted Brevard to come pick you up, all right, sir? If they don't pick you up, you'll come back here and see us, all right? David Smith,
God bless you.
Thank you.
are you Mr. Smith? All right. Okay, Mr. Smith, I got a warrant that was issued. I want to go over it with you. It's out of Marion County, and it's on a battery charge, and they've left it at a no bond status. So you're going to be held until such time as Marion picks you up on this. Do you understand? And I think that was the only thing we had for Mr. Smith, correct? Yeah?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. David Akins, so you're good. They'll come and get you. Mr. Akins, make it back to us? Are you David Akins?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're here on a charge of criminal mischief, less than $200. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause. Any priors?
There's 3 felony convictions, 6 misdemeanors, convictions for trespass, petty theft, resisting without, battery on Leo.
To my understanding, that was 6 years ago. If we get, I think it'd be pertinent to throw out the dates of those convictions as well. Obviously, people change, they grow.
Most recent conviction was in 2018.
We're all different people back in 2018, Your Honor.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm keeping the bond at 500. You're not to return to the apartment in question, and you're not to have contact, direct or indirect, with the victim. That's Leonard Hosley. Now, do you understand?
I'm trying to, yeah.
Okay, so I've appointed the PD, and you've got your bond. Patrick Holland. Are you Patrick Holland?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Holland, we have a situation where there's a Volusia County warrant, and it's a allegation you violated your probation over in Volusia, so the judge set it at a no bond status. So you're going to be held until such time as they come over to get you. And was that his only warrant? I believe it was. Yeah.
Same case. No, it does look like
Two
different cases.
different cases.
County warrant.
It looks like two different cases they transposed the last two numbers.
Yeah.
So I think it's,
Counties.
let's just say it's Volusia. They're gonna hold you on one or both until they come pick you up. All right? Good luck.
Thank you.
Dondrick Hooks. Dondrick Hooks. There he is.
Sir.
All right, Mr. Hooks, how are you doing today?
I'm blessed to be among the living, sir.
All right, so you got charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and possession of MDMA. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. And I'm going to find probable cause for the charges. Do we have any history on Mr. Hooks?
He has 16 felony convictions, 18 misdemeanors, 1 FTA. I do see multiple drug convictions as well as violent convictions. Most recent conviction was October of 21 for a duelist.
Okay, so I'm going to set your bond. Yeah? Go ahead, counsel, do you want to talk?
I've advised Mr. Hook not to speak at this point in time.
I'm just the IA judge, Mr. Hooks. I'm not, they haven't
Okay.
even filed on it yet.
I understand. May I say something to you, Judge?
But listen, they're recording everything.
Huh?
Your attorney's telling you not to talk. They're recording everything. Anything you say could be used against you.
Okay, well, if it's used against me, sir, I respect that. I'm asking you, could I say something to the judge as a client to the judge? Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm asking you.
Oh, you can, but I'm just warning you to be careful.
Okay.
Don't talk about the case, but go ahead.
Okay. The reason I'm in court right now is to see if they have probable cause to hold me in county jail for the charges, right?
Yes.
If I'm charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon,
Uh-huh.
the police came on the scene, I stayed there, I don't have no weapon in my hand.
Well, brick is
or none
a
of that.
weapon.
I don't have nothing of that nature on me when the police arrived.
Because you threw it
Nothing.
allegedly, but keep going.
I didn't throw nothing. If you look at the report, they say, assume everything is an assumption. There's no facts, no factual facts to say I did anything of the nature.
Okay.
And if I had a brick and it was aggravated, guess what? Somebody would have been hurt, right? Somebody would have been.
You missed, according to the affidavit. But look, let's stop there. I don't think you want to get too deep into the facts.
Don't worry about it.
So I'm going to stay the bond at 2,500 on count one, 150 on count two. No contact whatsoever, direct or indirect, with the victim. Okay, so, thank you, Mr. Hooks. April Johnson. How are you doing, Miss Johnson? You doing okay? Okay. So I've got a warrant on an allegation you allegedly violated your probation for the underlying conviction of burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. The judge set the, at a no bond status. So you'll go back to the judge and they will handle your violation of probation. I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. Now, she had another case, didn't she?
It's a state misdemeanors case.
I'm sorry?
It's for state misdemeanors.
Yes.
MO
And
case.
you've also got a new law violation arriving out of
It was the panhandling, Your Honor. It was the arrest that led to the warrant being executed in the.
no, I agree. I mean, that's how they always get them in that. So it's basically possession of drug paraphernalia, but it's a city ordinance. So I'm finding probable cause. We'll keep the bond at $250, appoint the PD to represent you. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, Ms. Johnson? Good luck. Mark Redmond. Is that you, Mr. Redmond? All right, so weren't we going to plea him yesterday? What happened?
Yes, Your Honor, I couldn't find the paperwork, so we just passed them to today so I could relay an offer.
Okay.
And the offer from the state would be an adjudication, credit for time served, and no return.
And then your court costs will be due in a year.
And I'm not sure if the items were returned or not, but
You want to reserve as to restitution?
no.
Okay. All right, if anybody finds 2 bottles of vodka, return them. Okay, so Mr. Redmond, did you heard the offer? Is that what you want to do?
I don't hear that well. Could you repeat it? Make sure I
Yeah.
understood it?
10 years, federal prison. Okay, listen carefully this time, ready?
Yes.
This is kind of important.
Yes.
Be adjudicated guilty. Get credit for time served. So if there's nothing else holding you, you'd be leaving here at some point.
Okay. Now, a year to pay the court costs?
And then, yeah, no return to the scene, and then 1 year to pay the court costs. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay. So let me know after you've signed your plea form.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out too, yesterday I said that they used to give them plea forms to read in the back prior to coming to court. Turns out that was never the case, and the public defender office used to do that. So I'd like to correct a previous lie on jail staff.
It's not a lie. It was a misunderstanding.
I was told I lied on them back there. So.
Just
I
remember,
just clueless.
they're the ones that say, wait here, counsel, before I can let you talk to your client.
Yeah.
You know how that PD shuffle goes. All right, Mr. Redmond, you ready?
Ready.
Well, raise your right hand and let's swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, please state your full name and date of birth.
Mark J. Redmond, 10/27/1969.
All right, that is correct. All right, so you've been charged with petty theft, and you've heard what the resolution would be: adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the scene, and pay the court costs within a year. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you currently under the influence of any pills, drugs, or alcoholic?
No.
Okay, good, because you've been in jail long enough where if you were, I'd be worried. Secondly, do you feel that you're alert and oriented?
Yes.
You understand what's going on?
Yes.
If I asked you who the president is, you would say?
Joe Biden, yeah.
Okay, there you go. How far did you get in school?
12th grade.
All right, did you read the plea form carefully before you signed it?
Yes.
Oh, did you have any questions about it?
No, I don't, sir.
So you understand you're giving up your constitutional rights to a trial by jury, the right to confront witnesses that the state presents, the right to remain silent, and the right to appeal?
Yes, I made a stupid decision. I accept everything.
Okay. And so you're waiving those rights by hearing the plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And are you doing this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
I mean, in other words, is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to do this?
No, sir.
Okay, and counsel, do you stipulate to a factual basis for the purpose of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so as to the charge of petty theft, how do you plead? No contest, guilty or not guilty?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea, find that you're alert, understanding, intelligent, that the plea was freely and voluntarily given, that you understood the nature of the charges against you and the plea itself, and that there's a factual basis for acceptance of plea. I'll send you, as previously indicated, you got 30 days to appeal my decision. Those appeals got to be in writing, filed with the clerk's office. Can't afford attorney, we'll appoint one to represent you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right, do we have Valentino Rudolph?
Sir.
How are you, sir?
Fine, sir.
Great. I'm just looking for my notes from yesterday when you didn't appear. Yeah, I was wondering why they did that. Okay, so there was a warrant issued, sir, on an allegation you violated your probation for the underlying conviction for burglary of an occupied structure. And the judge, no bonded you on this, VOP. So what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna appoint the PD, and then you'll go in front of Judge Wilson and on the violation of probation to see what happens. Do you understand? All right. Do we have Julius Cornell Taylor?
Your Honor?
It's three different VOPs.
Hold on, there's what?
It's three different VOPs, just
Well,
to be
see,
aware.
I was reading it as one. Hold on, don't go anywhere.
That's what I was just telling him, it's 3 cases that.
Yeah.
It's 3 cases.
So that was the Burger Street, this was 2020 CF 14387. Oh, you have a 2019 CF 1574 with the same judge, and she did the same thing on a no bond, on a allegation you violated your burglary of a dwelling. And then 2020 CF 13111, same judge, allegation you violated your conviction for grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, and she set that for no bond. So we got 3 cases, PD in all 3 cases. You'll have to see Judge Wilson about a bond, all right? Okay. Do we have Julius Taylor? Okay, Mr. Taylor, how are you?
Fine, sir.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. All right, let's talk about your case. Just looking over my notes. So you had a allegation you had possession of cocaine.
Yes, sir.
And I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. And I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. I'm going to leave the bond at $1,000. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand?
No alcohol or drugs.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, he indicated he won't be able to afford the $1,000. Would the court consider reducing or giving him non-monetary conditions relief? Your Honor, this looks like a lockdown motion to suppress as well. The officer can't command you to open your hand. At that point in time, it was an unlawful command. We'll be exploring, obviously, the motion to suppress at a later time, but we'd ask the court to consider reducing so he'd be able to.
Is this his first touch with the criminal justice system?
No, Your Honor.
So maybe 1 or 2 at most?
More than that, Your Honor.
Like how many?
9 felony convictions, 12 misdemeanors, 2 FTAs.
Yeah, I'm not going to reduce it, but good luck, sir. Charles Bruce. Are you Mr. Bruce? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, Mr. Bruce, the reason you're here is a warrant for an alleged violation of probation on your underlying convictions for trafficking in stolen property and false information to a pawnbroker. And Judge Barber set it at no bond status. So I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you, and they'll start the process of getting you in front of Judge Barber on a violation of probation. Do you understand? All right, good luck.
Thank you.
I believe we're up to Sebastian Fernandez.
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Fernandez, you are charged with the city ordinance of disorderly conduct. And I'm going to appoint the PD to represent you. And I found probable cause for the charge. Is this a pleable?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, you got an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer for this would be a withholding credit for time served. I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly, but it does look like he's on PTD in a 2021 CF 12759 AO. I'm just not sure
I
what.
don't have that. They didn't give me that, so.
I can check the clerks.
Or I'm just trying to.
What's
They
the,
arrived no
Look.
open case.
what is the case number?
Don't say anything, but let me just tell you what's going to go on. Never take a plea if you're on probation.
I'm not.
That's an automatic violation.
I have no open cases and no
Okay.
type of community control.
You know better than anybody else.
Yes, sir.
They're going to check.
It's a 2021 CF 12759 AO. It's a carrying a concealed firearm that was referred to PTD on February the 2nd.
Can you give me that case number one more time?
Sure, 2021 CF 012759 AO. This is what I have in my system. I'm just not sure, like, these are two separate things, but I'm not sure if him accepting a plea here.
I have a
Different
completely
defendant.
different name for that person.
Different case.
That's a different defendant.
I have that same name, but okay.
It's Christian Barboza.
Yeah. So
I'm
we're good.
sorry, it's the first on this list, you guys.
So
are-
it'd be a withhold adjudication,
So sorry.
credit time served plus court costs payable in a year. Is that what you want to do, Mr. Fernandez?
We handled earlier.
No holds? Yes, sir.
Huh?
There are no holds? Then yes, sir.
He said
No.
if there are no holds, then yes. sir.
Oh, well, see, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Why take a plea if you're going to be here anyway?
And she just
No.
mentioned something wasn't,
So I can't tell you if anybody's got a hold on you, because there may
No, I
be
don't.
one in an hour for something else.
As of right now, there are no holds, Your Honor.
Yeah, we're unaware of any, but I can't promise it.
I came out of nowhere.
Well, now that was a different defendant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He was first on our
Yes.
list, but we handled that
So
earlier.
there are no
so.
known murder charges against you, all right?
Yes, I'd like to accept the plea of no contest.
Okay, well, you got to read and then sign the plea form.
I have read it, sir.
All right, raise your right hand. We're going to swear you in. I'm sorry.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I affirm.
All right, sir, state your full name and date of birth.
Sebastian Louis Martin Fernandez, March 9th, 1982.
All right, sir, as you heard, you had the city ordinance for disorderly conduct. You heard the offer would be a withhold of adjudication, credit for time served, and court costs payable within a year. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcoholic, or medication?
No, sir.
Do you feel that you understand what's going on?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. How far did you get in school?
Some college.
Okay. Did you read over the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, sir, I read it again.
Did you have any questions about it?
No, sir, I understand it completely.
Okay, you understand you're waiving valuable constitutional rights by entering this plea form. You won't get a trial. You won't get to cross-examine witnesses. Can't remain silent and make the state prove the case. Can't appeal it. You understand that?
I plead no contest, I understand that, sir.
Okay. And is anybody coercing you to enter into this plea?
Nobody is, sir.
Are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am, sir.
And counsel, are you stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, Mr. Fernandez, as to the charge of disorderly conduct, how do you plead? No contest, guilty or not guilty?
I plead no contest, sir.
I'll accept your plea, find that you're alert and oriented, that the plea is freely and voluntarily entered into, that you understood the nature of the charges, and that there's a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. I'll sentence you as previously indicated. You got 30 days to appeal my decision. Those appeal must be in writing, filed with the clerk's office. Can't afford an attorney on the appeal, we'll appoint one for you. All right?
Sir.
Good luck.
Thank you for your help.
Clarius Germain. All right, Mr. Germain, you're charged with city ordinance, possession and consumption of alcohol that's prohibited in public. And I don't want you to answer this, but what is this Paul Masson brandy stuff? Is it like a high-grade thing?
No, it's just a drink.
Nope, no, I don't want you to answer. I want to ask all these other ones.
Paul Mason, Paul Mason is just a brand of brandy.
Oh, okay, so brandy. It's not one of these cheap beers or vodka made out of orange peels down in the Polk County. Okay, I'm just curious. All right, so I reviewed the paperwork. I found probable cause. What are we doing on this one? Does he want to entertain a plea?
You would, Your Honor.
What's the plea offer?
Your Honor, the state's offer would be a withhold and credit for time served.
Plus court costs payable in a year. Do you want to do that, Mr. Germain?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and read over the plea form and sign it after you've read it.
Do you have any questions about the rights that you're waiving? Go ahead and sign it if you feel comfortable with it.
So I'm curious, when we used to do these, we'd have the PD help out, but we didn't appoint, so they didn't have to pay those fees. Are we doing the same thing here?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, hold on a second. On this one, can you do it? Yeah, that's fine. They didn't say anything. This one's fine.
So this is not appointing
This is
the
not
office of the
appointed.
public defender and no court costs.
Well, there are court costs. I'm doing court costs in here. How much?
223.
223. Okay, raise your right hand, sir. We're gonna swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
State your full name and date of birth.
Clarius Joseph Jermaine Jr., February 27, 1978.
All right, sir. As you were told earlier, you're in charge of possession, consumption of alcohol in public, a city ordinance violation. You heard the offer, withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and court costs payable within a year. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you currently under the influence of any pills, drugs, or alcoholic beverages?
No, sir.
So if I asked you who the president is, you would say,
I don't want to offend anyone, but let's go by.
okay, we'll go with Biden. I could ask you the state bird of Florida instead if you'd like.
The governor?
Huh? The state bird of Florida?
Oh, the mockingbird.
Oh, see, now you are alert and oriented, and congratulations on your education. How far did you get in school?
I graduated.
Good. Well, you did well. So did you read over the plea form carefully before you signed it?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions on it?
No, sir.
So you understand by entering this plea, you're essentially waiving your right to a trial and to remain silent and require the state to prove their case, and you're waiving any right to appeal any decision by doing this?
Sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Is anybody forcing you or coercing you to enter into this plea?
Not at all.
Are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
Absolutely.
All right, and as a friend of the court, counsel, or do you stipulate to a factual basis for the purpose of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so as to the charge of possession, consumption of alcohol in a prohibited public space, how do you plead? No contest, guilty, or not guilty?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea, find that you're alert, oriented, and very intelligent, that the plea was freely and voluntarily entered into, and that you understood the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea, and that there was a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. So I'm going to sentence you as previously indicated. You got 30 days to appeal my decision. A notice of appeal must be in writing filed with the clerk's office. Can't afford attorney, won't be appointed. Didn't even qualify. All right?
Sir.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
And do we have Mr. Henry here?
Yes, sir.
All right, and how do you say your first name?
It's Visadine, sir.
Visadine.
Yes, sir.
All right, Visadine Henry. Like that. Okay, so you're here on new charges of disorderly conduct. And it's a city violation. I read the paperwork. I found probable cause for the charge. Now, he's out on bond on some other cases.
Correct, Your Honor.
Huh?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Two other cases.
So, what do y'all want to do here? Do y'all want to enter into a plea? Is there an offer?
Your Honor, the offer on the disorderly conduct would be a withholding credit time served and court costs.
Your Honor, he indicated he'd accept that offer.
Okay, so we'll do that. So, after you finish reading over that plea form, just sign it and let us know. Yeah, we'll waive the PD since he's taking a plea. I'm sorry, it's just been a long time since I've been out here. Are you Jacavia Smith back there? Okay, why don't we give him a form in case he wants to do one? Thank you. All right, raise your right hand, Mr. Henry. We're going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
State your full name and date of birth.
It's Visadine Henry, 3283, sir.
Okay, so you're charged with disorderly conduct. You heard the offer, withhold adjudication, credit time served, and your court cost of $200 and change payable within 1 year.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
How far did you get in school?
9th grade.
All right. Do you feel you understand what's going on right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, and are you currently under the influence of any pills, drugs, or alcoholic beverages?
No, sir.
All right, and did you read over the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions on it?
No, sir.
Well, again, you understand, if by doing this, you're waiving your constitutional rights to a trial, to the cross-examining the state witnesses, making them prove the case, your right to remain silent, and the right to appeal the verdict. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you?
No, sir.
All right, and counsel, you agree that for the purpose of the plea, there's a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, as to the charge of disorderly conduct, how do you plead? No contest, guilty, or not guilty?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea, find that you're alert and oriented, that you understood the nature of the charges, consequences of the plea, that the plea was freely and voluntarily given, and that there's a factual basis, and I'll sentence you as previously indicated. You get 30 days to appeal my decision. Those appeal must be in writing, filed with the clerk's office. And we will take no actions on his other cases.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good luck. All right, Jacarius Smith. No, it's Jaquavis, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're charged with soliciting without a permit, Mr. Smith. And I reviewed the paperwork and I found probable cause. State, do you have an offer for Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor, it'd be a withhold and credit time served.
All right, and plus your court costs due within a year. Is that what you'd like to do, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after you've reviewed that plea form, go ahead and sign it. Mr. Warner's back there. Do you want to get him one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that it after Mr. Warner?
You did, right?
Okay, Mr. Smith, raise your right hand. We're going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
State your full name. You put your hand down. State your full name and date of birth.
Jaquavius Smith.
Date of birth?
December 11, 1999.
Okay. So, Mr. Smith, you're charged with soliciting without a permit. The state's offer was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and court costs payable within a year. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently under the influence of any pills, drugs, or alcoholic beverages?
No, sir.
How far did you get in school?
High school graduate.
All right. Did you read over the plea form carefully before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions on it?
No, I do not.
You understand you're waiving your right to a trial, to remain silent, require the state to prove its case, and the right to appeal that case if you enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
And that's what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily? Are you doing it freely and voluntarily, the plea? In other words, is anybody forcing or coercing you to enter the plea?
I'm not sure.
Well, is anybody forcing or coercing you to enter the plea? In other words, they threatened you or whatever, said you better take the plea or you'll be
No, sir.
really bad for you.
No, sir. No.
Okay, so are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Because it doesn't matter to us if you take the plea or not. It's your call. You're doing it and you're okay with it, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and for the purpose of the plea, counsel, would you agree that there's a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so as to the charge of soliciting without a permit, how do you plead? No contest, guilty, or not guilty?
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your plea, find that you're alert and oriented, that you understood the nature of the charge, the consequence of the plea, and that there was a factual basis for the purpose of the plea. I'm going to sentence you as previously indicated. You got 30 days to appeal the decision, and notice appeals got to be in writing, filed with the clerk's office. Can't afford attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. And we waive the PD fee on that.
Look, man.
Okay. So we got Travis Warner there.
Yes, sir.
Been a long day, huh, Mr. Warner?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're our last one, and what you're charged with is one of these city misdemeanors. And it's based on a claim that you violated a previous trespass, and so they charge you with that city ordinance of it. Is there an offer from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer would be an adjudication, credit time served, court costs, and no return.
All right, is that what you'd like to do, Mr. Warner?
Sir.
Okay. So raise your right hand, we're going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, state your full name and date of birth.
Travis Leon Warner, March 12, 1985.
Okay, so, Mr. Warner, you're charged with the city violation of essentially committing a misdemeanor inside the city limits when you allegedly were in an area that you previously been trespassed from. So you heard what the offer from the state was. You'd be adjudicated guilty of the offense, sentenced to credit time served, court costs payable within a year, and no return to the scene. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, how far did you get in school?
9th grade.
All right, do you read and understand English?
Yes, sir.
Did you read over that plea form carefully before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about it?
No, sir.
And again, you recognize that by entering the plea, you're waiving your rights to having a trial, to require the state to prove its case, where you could remain silent, and appeal any decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
And are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Is anybody forcing or coercing you to enter into the plea?
No, sir.
And counsel, would you stipulate to a factual basis for the purpose of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so as to the state misdemeanor charge, again, I think they qualified it, they listed as a state misdemeanor, but you've understood what the charges are. How do you plea? No contest, guilty or not guilty?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea, find your alert, oriented, understood nature, charge, consequence plea that you, that there is a factual basis for the plea and sentence you as previously indicated. You got 30 days to appeal my decision. That notice of appeal must be in writing filed with the clerk's office. Can't afford attorney will be appointed if you qualify. Madam Clerk, is there anybody else we can help?
That will be it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Great job.
Thank you.
And see you in a year.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.